Hello, everyone. Happy Saturday. I hope that you guys are having an awesome and amazing weekend. As you may notice, I'm back again at my regularly scheduled program time of 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm hoping that everything's going good for you. I hope that you enjoyed last evening's IG live show as well, in which I was able to speak to at Hello Doll. If you didn't, then I advise you after this live to go right back over there and check that one out. Hi, Minnie Kimmy Doll's Life. How are you doing? I hope that you're having an awesome day today. Thank you for joining. Well, today I have an awesome and amazing, fabulous sister to us all on Instagram, and her name happens to be at My Little Curvy World. So we're going to be calling her in. Hi, Coach Play. That's my husband. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate it. And like I always say, if you need a personal trainer, if you need someone who's going to be able to encourage you and motivate you and get you involved with your fitness plan, that would be who you would contact, would be my husband, who is at Coach Play, but with an I and not a Y. All right. So I am going to be talking to at My Little Curvy World. Woo! We did have a conversation before on this particular platform. And so this is going to be our second time talking, but not at all our second time talking because we talk on a regular basis. That's a sister of mine. And I'm really, really excited to be able to have her join us today. So I'm going to call her right now. And we will be able to discuss storyline content creation, as well as our helping you as you progress in your storyline writing and with your photos. And if you do have a book on the way, hint, hint, because I know that I'm reading a lot of your posts and I'm like, this is a book in the making. So I do hope that that is part of what you're doing. Hey, how are you at My Little Curvy World? How are you doing today?
I'm great. How are you?
Doing good. Happy Saturday.
Happy Saturday.
My Little Curvy World, you can catch her show every Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where you are the professor of boxology. Yes, right there. So just in case this happens to be your first time seeing at My Little Curvy World, follow her page. There's awesome, amazing content. And today we're going to be discussing your content and what you do, and also just doing a recap from our conversation. How's your day going?
My day is going great, sis. I got some rest, which I really needed. And I actually got on and did some walking. So, yeah, I'm having a great day.
I didn't get a chance to do those things. Didn't get any rest. We had a night disturbance and stuff, so we were up pretty late, pretty much all night, and we didn't get a chance to do any walking. But still having a good day. You know what I mean? Thank God you're able to breathe, and that's the main thing.
What's great about it is I live right down the street from the post office. So when you guys place your orders, I can walk to the post office and send off the orders and get some exercise.
There you go. There you go. Multitasking it. That is. That's the good thing about it.
Exactly.
I was letting them know that we had a previous conversation before, and I just wanted to recap it with them, if that's okay.
That's awesome. Yeah, recap me.
Recap you. All right. So we met together. It was actually a few months ago. It was our very first live, very first IG live for me. As far as doing this with storyline content creation, I was able to do it with you, my sister. So I enjoyed it.
I was christening your lives.
There you go. You christening my life. So I thank you for it. We met together on February the 12th. 2021. So if you need to go back and check that out after this live, and I said after, definitely do that. Listen to what we're going to say today, and then check that one out. One of the things that you discussed and that we talked about was the importance of using your imagination and your passion, being able to be inspired by other people, as well as mentors that are around you to be able to create. You talked about how some people write ahead and others write as they go, and that you write from life experiences.
Yes.
And that you also put that out there as advice for someone else who's writing to be able to write from life experiences.
Absolutely.
You talked about being consistent, know your motives for writing storyline content, and stay encouraged.
That's right.
Join Doll events where you can develop networking, friendships like what we have, as well as being able to gain a stronger following if that's something that you're looking for.
Yes.
You also stated that storyline content creation allows us to have a form of escape. Escape from real life. But you can always add real life events into your storyline as well. You can pull from other people's lives, friends that you have, family, talk shows that you watch. When I asked you my storyline, you said because it's therapeutic for readers and for the writer, which in this case, the writer is the admin.
Yes.
You can also get your spouse and your partner involved. You can have starring actors, and that's what we call like our main characters, as well as supporting cast. And it's just like a movie. You can make yours like a soap opera, similar to what I have going on with mine. And I like, now I'm going to put this in because most recently you just spoke during your Friday IG live show, and you had stated how yours is in the genre of being a comedic episode or comedic series. And so I like that you said that. I was like, yes.
It's a romantic comedy.
There you go. Rom-com. There we go. We love rom-coms. Know who your core individuals are, starring roles. This is your foundation. So keep them connected in your storyline. Events help to move your storyline along. The use of your gifts and gifts and your talents will come out with you using your hobby. And that's really what I want us to focus on today.
Absolutely.
Being able to use that. Yes. And you talked about the tapped and the untapped. Thank you, honey. My coffee so I can stay up. Thank you.
Look, you're not gonna need it.
Oh, you'll be surprised. I don't want to be like, oh. I told you we had a long night. I've got 10 kids, so one of my kiddos was keeping us up.
Oh, you're gonna need it after this live.
Yeah, exactly. You know, we have a teenager, so it's the growing pains of life.
I know.
So you talked about using Les Brown. There we go. Les Brown as your mentor, and he encourages you and inspires you as you create.
Les Brown, Miles Monroe, and Bob Proctor.
And Bob Proctor. So if you've never heard of those names, or even if you have,
please
definitely look them up. Yes, because they have amazing. I've heard them. They have wonderful motivational speeches right at your hand for free on YouTube. So if you have a phone,
and Lisa Nichols. So we gotta add a lady.
And I think that she spells hers like Nichols.
Yes.
So
yes.
Lisa Nichols. Thank you, everyone who's joining. You also said, if I can create this in my doll world, what else can I create in my own world?
That's right.
And I believe that that is something that also sticks out for us to talk about today. Make sure pictures coordinate with your storyline. We talked about exaggerating the doll poses. Make doll actions coordinate with the storyline, including the dolls that you're talking about in your photos. And let the characters speak. Give them a voice. Giving them a voice makes them an individual.
Yes.
You are a director, and I love when you said that. You said that you are the director, and it's really a flow thing. And last but not least, you said that complexes and insecurities and flaws is what really gives the human personification of your doll.
That's right.
And we see that with Jazzy at times. She'll, you know, have certain insecurities about being curvy. Although this is my little curvy world, she at times has insecurities about her, her voluptuousness. And so that come out during her conversation with Juicy, and then they're able to address that.
And her getting overwhelmed too. Don't forget about that part when she get overwhelmed trying to do too many things.
Yes. And she has a Southern Belle mentality. So we see that come out at times. I know that you also are doing something recently that I would like to discuss with everyone. You're doing some live action play. I don't know if this is something that you're going to be doing each Friday, or if it's just something that you're stumbling upon, but I think that is awesome. And it's very freeing for anyone who's, watching your live, as far as just allowing yourself to really get involved with your play.
That's right.
And really get involved with knowing the characters that you're featuring in your storyline. So how did you come about that?
By pure inspiration. One day I was creating some decorations, and then I just had them pretend that she wanted to hang those decorations, and it just came from there. And I was like, I did say that we do create the play, so why not do some live play when we create. So it just came by inspiration.
Has that made you kind of bond with your dolls differently as far as allowing their personality to come out even more for you?
It did. I believe that it allowed me to, with my audience, to have them bond more with them because they already here. So I was seeing this already, but I feel like it allowed you guys to kind of see their persona a little more and bond more with their characters and how they would be to one another and interact.
So do you think that this is something that you're going to include with your Friday show?
Yes,
Right.
as I'm inspired to do it.
Good. So we can look forward to her live action play being part of her Friday shows. Now, I don't know if you're going to be doing each Friday. Like, I know I've just now recently incorporated Gloria Speaks, and it's just, whatever questions that you have, we just started that. We're going to do that once a month. Yes. So I don't know if that's what you're going to be doing as well. If it's going to be like every Friday, but I would just think for us to stay tuned, right?
Yeah, stay tuned because I'm thinking that it may be not every Friday, but I may sometimes just cut on the camera and do it. I don't know.
Impromptu.
I was thinking about that too, you know, maybe having just a live play. Live playtime every now and then.
But you know, I'm a playwright, so you know I'm all about that live play. I love the live play action. But I definitely do agree with that. I think that'd be awesome, and we are here for it. So we'll just stay tuned to your page.
Yes.
I actually do not want to take the credit for the Gloria Speaks, because that was inspired by my husband's idea, and then later on my oldest daughter brought it up. So I give all credit to them. I was like, okay, I'll do it. Let's see how it goes. So, yeah, once a month, at the end of the month, the last Saturday is when we'll do a Gloria Speak. So any questions that anyone has, any comments, you can forward it to her, DM Sacred Para, and boom, there you go.
I think that's awesome. And it's sort of like the kind of idea that I wanted to have, that I'm having with Juicy and Jazzy love sessions.
Okay, let's talk about that. Love sessions. And that was actually going to be one of my questions as well. But how did you come about this new series?
It's crazy because one day I was just thinking, well, actually, before the pandemic, you know, my husband was thinking that we should maybe, you know, minister marriage or something like that. And I was thinking that maybe one day we would be like marriage coaches or something, but I wasn't sure. And I prayed about it and I still didn't get the answer on that. So, you know, I just put it aside. And, you know, since I've been featuring Jazzy and Juicy a lot together in intimate scenes, I was thinking that, you know what, they could speak about marriage, you know, and their parents, you know, his parents are marriage ministers. That was already in there anyway. So I was like, you know what, we could just go with this. And since they have a really cool romantic bedroom, I was like, you know what, we could do this.
I like that. Now, since you said, and we had discussed this previously about getting your partners involved, getting your spouses involved.
Yes.
Do you believe that this is something that you're going to be talking to your husband about and getting his input as far as what Juicy would say right here?
Yeah.
Oh,
he does, you know, if I have any questions about, you know, what do men think about these type of things? He do answer those things.
That's awesome. So we're literally going to be hearing your voices somewhat.
Yes,
I know Juicy and Jazzy got their own individual character.
Somewhat.
But we're still going to be able to hear you guys speak and minister through these love sessions. So
That's right. Because one thing I love about My Little Curvy World is that, you know, we're able to, it's a romantic comedy, but it's also a way for us to, you know, kind of help people that may be struggling in different areas, you know. Yes. You know, you may have the couple that's thinking about getting married, you know, like like Shannon and Aaron here, and you
Yeah.
may have a couple that's been married for a minute, but they're going through some things, and then you may have a couple that been through some things that can help them. So I feel like in real life we should help one another when we've been through stuff. So it's a great way to be able to do that with my storyline, and it just comes natural to me anyway, because that's what I do. That's what I love to do. I love to help people. So I just flow with it.
Exactly. Just like you said before, it's a flow thing.
It's a flow thing.
You work
It's
from
like,
what's naturally,
yeah,
within you.
like some days, even though I know the direction that they're going with their storyline, some days I may feel like, you know what, I need to say this or do this or have them do this, because maybe somebody, when you're around people like we are in the community, eventually you will feel other people's feelings sometimes. And I feel like maybe somebody could use this. Maybe somebody's going through this. Maybe this can help someone.
Yes.
So, that's why I say it's a flow thing,
I
you know.
agree. Absolutely agree. Now, I do, I believe that one of the characters that is, going through some type of transition within herself would
Hmm.
definitely be Brittany, right?
Bridget, yes. Yes, she's
Bridget, I'm so
going
sorry,
through.
Bridget. So I'm
And
really curious as far as, what that dynamic is like between her and her husband, because last that we saw them posted, I believe he was staying in the basement.
yes.
Yes. And so what really happened right there?
Well, it's like with the son was acting out, and then a lot of times when we have teenagers, if we're not careful, they can give you distractions from your relationship. So they were already kind of feeling that pressure. And then with the ex-husband coming around, which have been going away for so many years, he's bringing problems and stuff. So it's like her husband feel like things are out of control. And if you're not careful and you're distracted, that those type of things can happen. you know
Very
and
true.
she's also
Very true.
trying to find herself and her purpose and everything. So it it's like someone who's trying to find their way, and I can relate to Bridget in that way, because that's how I felt like 2 years ago. What am I doing? Where am I going? What am I supposed to be doing? What is my purpose? So that's how I relate to Bridget. That's why I say each one of these dolls is a part of me, a part of my journey, a part of what I've been through, what I'm going through. So,
Yes.
she's going through that, where she's trying to find her way, trying to find her purpose. And, a lot of times we wonder, why am I going through this? Why did I go through this part? Why am I going through this? And we say, why me? Why me? But then you realize, once you find out your purpose, oh, that's why I went through that, because I'm supposed to help other people transition like I did from that.
Mm-hmm.
So she's going through that, and as the storyline go through, you're gonna see why. So
Okay. Okay. Yeah, well, we will definitely stay tuned. I really did enjoy, although he's a pretty ruthless character, I still really enjoy seeing Walter, the ex, in the storyline.
yes.
Because he has such a different personality
Mhm.
compared to everyone else. And it was almost um it was you really did a real good job as far as like shaping him. And I do
Yes.
know that you said that he is going to be coming back.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I'm very curious to see how he, plays into this whole thing, because he
Yes.
kind of made it seem like he didn't know that his son was going to be coming to the office, and then you kind of hear that, yeah, he's been communicating with the son.
Exactly.
So
Just like
I'm very
just like
curious.
any snake.
And
You
you
never
had an
know what they're
episode about the
doing.
snake in the
You
garden.
never know what they're doing. you know, you you know, he say that, but do we really know? Did he do that? Did he orchestrate that? I mean, you have to wonder that, He
That's
is a
very,
lawyer.
yeah, that's true. That is. That's very, very true.
No
So
offense
I
to
like,
lawyers, but they know how to sway a jury, which are people. So, we're all people. So, we don't know. So that you're gonna see that, but I can say this. His character was one of the reasons why I had to get this house done.
okay. Okay.
So
Okay. So
you're
yeah, we
gonna
will
see
definitely
that.
be staying tuned. We will be staying tuned for
Yeah,
more of
yeah.
Bridget
He
and
was
her
one of the
story.
reasons why I had to get the facade done. So,
Okay. Now I did see, and I'm having a hard time remembering the couple's name. They were on the cruise boat. Was
yeah,
that just a one-time thing? Are we going to see them again?
you're gonna see them again, and you would be seeing them more if I would have finished that last scene. But I had to put that on pause because it was taking too long to get that done, and then the holidays was coming, and of course I wanted to get those shirts started back up again. So
Let's take
I
a
had
pause.
to
She
do
just
that.
said shirts. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. She has an Etsy shop called My Little Curvy World. Actually, it's called MC
CW Toys and Hobby.
Toys and Hobby.
Toys
You
and
can
Hobby
find it
Shop.
on Etsy. We will
Yay!
put that down at the bottom. Yes. And as you can tell, Gloria and Raymond are wearing these shirts. Let me bring a little bit closer. Hers is
Hey,
Queen.
Gloria and Raymond. They're our sisters too.
Yes.
They're our
Yes.
sister and brother too. Good to see you. Gloria's the one that made these reefs.
Yes, yes. And she'll be going right back to it. She's just trying to get through some life situations right now.
Absolutely. I
Just
understand that,
having her
girl.
sister come back.
Hey,
Yeah.
Raymond. Good to
Hey, and
see you,
he's
buddy.
back. Just got done doing some pictures with him. I was excited.
Mr. Handsome.
Yes.
It's
Yeah, so
good to
if you
see
want to get
him.
any of these, huh?
It's good to see them together on the set today.
Yes, yes, I fully agree. I do. I've been missing Raymond too. I was like, yay.
Yes, yes.
Yay, he's back in there. He just took a little
Absolutely.
vacation. He was busy with the
It's like,
kids.
yeah, it's like that with me too. It's like, okay, I'm trying to hurry up and get this scene done because a lot of it is based in the house. So that's why I wanted to get those dioramas and stuff done because there are scenes that have been put on hold because of that as well. And it's like this character got to come back in. Like what I said last night. Y'all go see Millie again. It's just I
And
had
then
to put all
Millie's
those
Jazzy's
people
little
aside.
sister.
Yes, that's Jazzy's sister. So, you guys gonna see more of them, but we had to get the house in order.
So here goes my question to you. What would be your advice to those who are listening and those who listen to this on replay? What's your advice as far as when it comes to our storyline and there's a major focus on one person or a couple, or like right now I've been focusing on Gloria and her storyline. What would you say to someone that's like, I want to get my other dolls featured, but I'm still trying to get done with this story and they feel pressure? What would be your advice?
My advice would be don't be pressured. Just go with the flow. Go with the flow. If you feel like you need to focus on those two for a while, then you do that. It's a reason why you have to do that. Maybe there's something foundational there that you need to explore with those for a moment. So I would say just go with it. Don't put yourself under pressure like that. If you want that character to come by every now and then and say hello or have a coffee or something, that's fine. But, if you need to focus on that character for a while, keep doing that because it's something there.
I like that. I like that. That speaks volumes. That speaks like major volumes because we've talked even last night about feeling that pressure to be able to produce, to post, and then when we talk about right now, whenever you have a storyline that's focused just on one person's situation, you can feel like, wow, when do I put my other character in. I'm ready to put them in. They've got a story too. I've been
Yes.
posting the same pictures, you know, the same dolls. When do
Mhm.
I put in the other ones? And like you said, right there, that was just so perfectly said. There's the reason
Absolutely.
why you're still working on them.
Is that the house in the back? Yes, it is. This is the
Yes,
house. This is the Jenkins Manor back here.
yes, it
And that's
is.
the
Yes,
whole
it is.
crew over there.
Yes.
That's the whole crew over there. We're gonna have them show a little more in a little bit after we
Yes,
finish
yes. You
talking.
can always refer to any of the pictures and photos that's actually on the storyline to be able to see the
Absolutely.
magnitude of the house that you're building. So let's get into you and your building because your building is phenomenal. She does it from everything that is in her house: cardboard, tape, paper, and all. I mean, like when we talk about drawers, these drawers function, y'all. She's able to make the drawers actually open and close. I apologize. That's my home phone.
That's okay.
Let me
That's
turn it
okay.
off. I'll be right back. I'm sorry.
Yes, this is the house in the back, Miss Dorothy. And yes, I made it. This is the garage over here and the front over here, and there's another
Yes,
side over here.
yes, yes. So yes, she has drawers that open and shut. She's able to just make these awesome and amazing dressers and oh my gosh, like everything, like she's showing you right there, the Jenkins Manor, all made out of cardboard. How did you come to this place of using cardboard? And if you've been with her on Fridays, like we have, then you probably already know. But on the other hand, this is your first time actually finding out. Go ahead and listen to her journey to being the cardboard or the boxologist.
Well, believe it or not, it started from when I was a little kid. There was some things that was happening there. My grandmother, they used to say I like to play with boxes when I was little. I like to play around boxes. I used to hang out in the clothes baskets and try to hide and stuff. So she started calling, my name is Jate. She started
Mhm.
calling me Jot Box. And all my cousins and growing up, and they still call me that. And um, that just stuck with me. And then when I got older, I kept my dolls because I always loved playing with my dolls. And I've always been the kid that was like, I don't like the play set. They don't look real. I
I
always was
agree.
like,
I
this
agree.
doesn't look like a real house. And
Hmm.
yes, we supposed to use our imagination, but I was like, I wanted to be extra. I was like, not only do I want to use my imagination, I want to actually see it. So I just started when I was younger, thinking about what I would do if I had my own dollhouse. And my parents, they really didn't have the money to buy me an elaborate dollhouse. So even though I use my imagination, and like I said, I'm the youngest of three sisters.
Oh,
So
wow.
I had a lot of time to myself. So I use my imaginations a lot. My first doll family was the Hart family, and I had them when I was a little girl, but I lost the kids. I took the kids out and I lost the kids, and I think that always stuck with me. That I always wanted to put the family back together. So I used to always wanted to have family dolls. I always wanted to have Barbie, Ken, and Chelsea, well, Kelly back then. I
Mm-hmm.
always
Mm-hmm.
wanted Skipper and all of them to be like a family. So it was always in me to do that. And then, when I got older and was able to have my own job, I used to sneak in, was a teenager and still buy dolls and was collecting them. And, when my husband met me, he met me with dolls and stuffed animals. And I just didn't want to let them go. And he knew that. And he was like, okay. And I always had them hidden in the tote. And for years and years and years, I just had my dolls hidden in the tote. And, as I worked, as I had my son, as I was a wife and a mother. I've always secretly wanted to go sneak in that tote and go brush their hair a little bit and then put them away because I was ashamed. I can admit I was ashamed that I had dolls, but I always loved my dolls. So one day I was watching this movie called The Shift, where the mom on there, she used to paint in college, but her kids didn't know she painted. And one day when they went on vacation, the hotel owner, he picked up on her gift and he left her a sketching pad in her room, and she just started sketching again. And the kids was like, I didn't know you could draw. I ain't never seen you draw before, and it made me feel some kind of way. And I was like, oh my gosh, all these different things that I used to do, I don't do anymore. I was going through a little depression there. And then
Yes.
my friend Caroline came over my house. We worked from home and we used to do call center work together. And I showed her my doll collection. She was like, these are nice. Why they're not on a shelf or anything? And I was like, I don't know. You think I should display them? And she said, yes. I said, you don't
Mhm.
think it's weird that I'm older and have dolls? She said, no, everybody collects something. And she was
It's
like, you
true.
need to put this on a shelf or
Mhm.
something. And I said, I don't want to just put them on a shelf. I want them to look like they're doing something. I want them to look like they're a family and they're interacting. Maybe I can find something online where I can learn how to, make like a room or something where they can sit on a shelf and have a living room or something. And that's when I started looking on YouTube and I found Toya and her daughter making stuff on My Froggy stuff. I saw her and I saw a few other people, and I was like, wait a minute, these are adults making stuff for dolls. I was like, I can do that. And I used to
Yeah.
wake up my husband and I'd be like, you see this? You see what she's doing? You see that? I can make that. He was like, you can make that? I was like, yeah. And I felt bad. I was like, dog, even my own husband don't know that I can make stuff. At that point, we've been married for like, what, 10 years?
Oh
12 years?
wow.
And he didn't even know I had an artistic side. Now, he did know that I was a musician because I used to play clarinet and saxophone, and that's where Jazzy get that from. But I haven't played in years, and I've been saying I was going to get lessons, but never did. And, he knew that
But we
part.
still got time. We still got time. I used to be
Yes,
quoting piano. We still got time.
yes, exactly. But he didn't know that I can make stuff and do stuff. And I watched my dad used to build things in his workshop with wood. And he didn't
Okay.
know I had that side of me, and that made me tap into that side. And I saw how she was making things with boxes, and she was doing foam boards and she was doing boxes. But then I
Yes.
was like, I see what she's doing, and I love it. I love these techniques. But then I saw Lena. It's another one. She made a doll house, and I was like, oh my God, I want to make a doll house. And I don't just want to make a doll house. I want to make a doll house where they have the sides where you can see the whole thing, not just from the front where you can see them in this room and this room, and they're actually doing stuff. So
Yeah.
then I started experimenting with different boxes. Like I said, I went crazy with boxes. I was going to Sam's Club and stalking the buggies and stuff to see if somebody left any boxes outside. And then I just started bringing all these boxes home in the living room, and I just went bananas, just making stuff for hours and hours and hours. And I would lose track of time after my son would go to bed. I would just start making stuff, making stuff, making stuff. My husband would come down like, girl, it is 3 o'clock in the morning. You still making stuff. He's like, what you doing? And then he was like, wow, you made that? I was like,
Mhm.
yes, yes. And he's like, I can't believe you can make this stuff. I said, it's in here. It's all in my head. I want to make some more. And I just kept building and building and building. And that's when I realized some boxes were good for this and some boxes were good for that. And then I saw I had to remake some stuff. And I was like, oh, okay. So I need to use this kind of box. So I need to use that kind of box. And that's how that came about,
Oh,
experimenting.
there you go.
I was
And I've
like
heard
a
you talk
mad
about
scientist.
that. Hey, that happens though when you're able to just really tune in and you just vibing and you're just putting, you're just honing all that energy into your craft. You do lose track of time. It can
Yes,
easily happen. It can easily happen. But I'm loving the factor being one that you're talking about tapping into a passion that you had that you
yeah,
really, you weren't able to do because, being a wife, being a mom, working, just dealing with responsibilities was
yes,
kind of taking over,
yes,
and you weren't really able to really, tap into what made you who you are. And so I'm
yes,
glad, number
yes.
one, that you connected with who you are because we're able to be blessed with your beautiful page and account.
Well, thank
That's one.
you. Thank
Yes,
you.
yes. And I met my sister here. So I do enjoy that. And I also am really, really enjoying the factor being that you're talking about learning about things in yourself that's kind of untapped even.
That's
Because
right.
although
That's
you work
right.
with boxes, you didn't really know about the different grades and textures of boxes and what it would be good for. Like you said, you experimented. And now
Yes,
we get to, glean from that wisdom. Because on
yes,
Friday you say, get the Amazon boxes. It's,
yes,
durable and
yes,
good for this. And if you get a box from, this other store, Best Buy, it's a little bit flimsier, but you can use it for this. And you need to kind of double it. So all of that came from the trial and error that you did by
absolutely.
tapping into your gift.
And I didn't tell you this the whole time while I was doing it. I was super shy. I mean, what we're doing terrified the heck out of me about trying to have
Mhm.
a YouTube. I was like, you know what? That's nice that my Froggy and all of them could do that. I could never do that. Me? I could never sit in front of a camera. Me? And I was super shy. And then when I started listening to people like Bob Proctor and listening to people like Les Brown and did a lot of personal development, I'm telling y'all that personal development is the best
It
thing.
is.
Take you from being a shy person, from being a introvert. It is really good for that. And I just listened to those things as I was making stuff. I just had them playing, just playing over and over again. You can do this. Use your imagination, those things. And then, I started feeling like I need to start telling people about how they need to, come into their gifts. And then when the pandemic came, I was scared as I don't know what. But
Yeah.
I started another channel called Coach Lady Tate, where I was just getting on like lecturing and saying, you know what, your gifts will make room for you, get into your gifts. And the more I talked, the more I looked at myself and I was like, wait a minute, I'm actually talking on a camera. And that's when I realized that I can talk on a camera, I can talk to people, I can do that. And that's why I was like, okay. And then I was like, I'm telling people that they need to do their gifts. And here I am. I have a My Little Curvy World account that I ain't touched in 3 years because I was scared to
Mhm.
get on here to post pictures.
I
So all
understand
that stuff I made, I never posted because I was always scared and I was always shy. And I
that.
was like, I don't know them, and what if they don't like it? And I always worried about that. But I
Yeah.
told you, like with the personal development, that helped me get over that. And then I started realizing how selfish it was for me not to post those things, how selfish it was for me not to share what I learned. So that convicted me that I am supposed to share, I am supposed to talk, I am supposed to show people what I went through and how they can do better. So
Exactly. Exactly.
that helped me.
I understand that. Um, I align right with you as far as being an introvert. I am
Yeah.
an only child, so I really vibe more so from my own internal energies, if that makes sense. So when I'm in a social gathering, there's gonna be times I may be like what do they call it, a wallflower? It's just I have to really push myself to get involved and talk and this and that, but I still have to take those breathers. I still got to take those elongated pauses in the bathroom in order to kind of get myself mentally, prepared to get back out there with the family or whatever it is, because I am more of an introvert. I was the person that was reading. I was the person that was in 6th grade saying, yes, sir, yes, ma'am, to an 8th grader, just because I felt like, oh, you're way older than me and I'm just scared to talk to you. So I fully understand where you're coming from, because it is a leap of faith, stepping out of your comfort zone to be able to get on here and do an IG live chat or just posting your pictures. In regards of being selfish about not posting it, I can't say if that was, if that's what convicted you to be able to do what you're doing right now, then I'm for it. In my opinion, and this is just me, I'm gonna say it like Paul did. Paul was always like, in my opinion. But in my opinion, I don't really see it as being selfish as much as it is that there's some things that we have to do in the darkness, to kind of build ourselves up to even get on a stage or a platform such as Instagram or Facebook, anything of that nature. And then there's also this, what was it that I spoke with Barb's World on? She said self-therapy. There's also this, this time where you have to kind of therapize, which was a word I had used previously. You have to be able to, spend that time in therapy with you. And so
now I see it that way, though.
Yeah, being able to
now I do.
To me, being able to do storylines that pour out of you, and you don't post it. That's what you need for you to be strong and for you to heal, for you to connect. And so, you may be connecting to your dolls. It may be connecting to a higher source. It may be connecting just to yourself.
Yes.
That right there, like I said, I can't really say if that's right or wrong. I'm just saying, in my opinion, I believe that you needed that time to construct and build so that whatever needed to be healed for you would be able to take place. Whatever confidence needed to be built so that you could say, all right, I'm ready to snap this picture. And
well, at that time when I was building me and my person and my character. So at that time, I don't think I was being selfish then.
No.
But when I was Coach Lady Tay and I'm telling people, you need to do your gifts will make room for you. And I was like, how can I felt like I was a hypocrite. I was like, wait a minute. Now it's time to bring forth, because then at that moment, it was time. But during the time where I was experimenting and going through grief, because during that time I was taking my mother-in-law to chemo and everything.
Oh, wow.
And, and then Caroline. So during those times, you and was it Barbie, the one you was just saying you were talking with about the
world.
Barbie World,
Barb's World.
Barb's World, my little sister.
Yes.
Now, that is right. You're right, because that was the time where it was therapeutic for me, because I was learning who I am.
Exactly.
The me that I'm supposed to be, not the me that my husband think I'm supposed to be, or the me that my family thought I was supposed to be, because
even the me that we think we're supposed to be,
Yeah, I was the shy one, but when I was around them, I would laugh and but I would never really get in deep about myself. So it's like I was pushing myself aside for many, many years and never really looked inside of me and see who I am.
Yes. And I would say, in regards of having that personal playtime, even right now with us having, our pictures and so forth on Instagram, there's still nothing wrong with having your own personal playtime. Your own personal pictures that you may take, or you putting on their clothes, you're doing their hair. I have 3 girls, and so there's times where, I'm spending time with them, with my dolls, not as often as I would like, but
Yes,
being able to spend time with our dolls, and we don't post it. It's just
that's
our
right.
bonding time. They had a
That's
wedding
right.
over the summer, and I was able to be involved with it. We didn't post it. We took a video of it, and it was awesome. I'm still enjoying it. You know,
I do that all the time.
exactly. But we didn't post it because that's our personal time. So there's
That's
nothing
right.
wrong with having your own personal bonding time with your
Yes,
dolls or with your kids, or, you know, however which way you see fit. And not everything has to be posted. Some
not
things are just
everything.
for you.
Absolutely. And it's lots of pictures that I never post. And there's lots of times where I'm crafting, and like I did the live play, I'll have them actually playing in that area that I don't actually post. I mean, how else can you get their characters down unless you do that? You know?
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
yeah, I totally agree. I totally agree.
I fully agree with you. And now the other thing, you talked about personal development, and I'm glad that you did bring that up, because personal development is important for us as humans, of course. But then when we talk
Absolutely.
storyline development, how do you think that that ties into building your character? Like by you having your study time of developing yourself, having your
Mhm.
personal development, how does that help you with building and creating and designing your character?
Oh wow. It's like as you change and you evolve, they're gonna change and evolve. I mean, because your mindset is changing. As your mindset is changing, they're gonna change. That's why I said on the show a couple of weeks ago that they have evolved. Jazzy and Juicy's characters have evolved a lot, and I think it's because I'm evolving.
I like
And
that.
even Shannon's character has evolved a lot. And it's because I'm evolving. I mean, they wouldn't say that they're king and queen if I didn't believe I was a queen, if I didn't believe my husband was a king. I didn't
Yes.
believe that a few years ago. No way. But as you evolve and as you personal develop, your characters are going to. And then
Mm,
you can explore more of that in your storyline.
I like that. I like that. As you personally develop, so does your characters. So if you are kind of in, and I think that even kind of answer a question about what do I do if I get into a writer's block? Develop yourself. You know, spend
Personal
some time with
development.
personal development of yourself. Allow yourself to evolve. And there may be you know, like a period of time where you're not posting, or you may just be
Yeah,
doing some fashion posting. You're like, why am I just doing, you know, posts about their hair, or posts about their clothes, or they're
please
just
do
attending
that.
an event. You know, I want to get back into the storyline, but I'm kind of blocked. Maybe, you know, that's that time where you need to, you know, develop your personhood, learn
Absolutely.
some things about yourself, and once when you get that blockage out the way, because you allow yourself to grow, you'll be
Yes,
able. You're fine. I didn't even notice it.
oh, okay. I had an alarm going off.
Oh,
But
okay,
yes.
but yeah, it's starting to glitch a little.
What about now?
It's still a little glitchy. I don't know if I'm glitchy too. How's everybody seeing us? Is
I can
everything
see you
fine?
fine now. Is it still doing it?
It's still doing it.
Hmm. Hmm.
It's just it kind of made you a little bit pixelated, and then it's moving a little bit slower. Let's see here. It's not real bad. Let's see
I think
here.
it's trying to catch up. You're perfect though.
I am
And
okay. Oh yes, it is doing something. Oh no, we have some buffering. Okay. Do you want me to call you back? Okay, let me try to call her back. I'm not completely 100% sure how this is going to work. So I hope you guys are enjoying our conversation thus far. If you have any questions, you can definitely post those questions down at the bottom. Any comments, post it down here at the bottom so that we can be able to address those questions as well. We're going to go ahead and invite her again. As you can see, the lovely couple are all canoodled together. Let's see here. Yes. Okay.
We're back.
I believe we're going to be better this time. We are back. All right.
Oh no, I had an alarm telling me it's time to do something, and then it just started glitching. I'm so sorry, guys.
Oh, it happens. It happens. That's technology for you. You know, sometimes, I mean, just honestly, you know, we get glitches and we just keep on moving with it.
Yeah.
So no harm, no foul. So I fully agree with you about being able to develop ourselves, because it does help us to develop our characters.
Yes,
So
and I talk about that on the show too. Sometimes you may have to have a time, I call it a retreat. Sometimes you need to give yourself a retreat where you can focus, you can do some personal development, have a fast away from social media. I'm totally for that. I do that every December. And I think that is very important to do that, because you don't want to burn yourself out, and you don't want to, just doing too much, because, this is still your hobby. This is still your outlet. It should never feel like work. It should never be mundane, and it should never be a bore for you. So I really do believe that there is times that you do need to take a retreat.
I agree.
If that means, you might want to just have them pose and talk in front of the TV and just say little one-liners, and that's it. That's so perfectly okay to do that, perfectly okay. Sometimes I have Jazzy and Juicy them just do that. Like last week, I was busy sewing and doing things, and I just had them sit in front of the TV and watch Frozen. There was just one little one-liner pose. You could do that, dress them up, and just have them just have a one-liner. It don't have to always be a storyline. Just, make a backdrop, something simple, and just have them look like they're posing. Give yourself a retreat. It's very important to do that, because you're not running on air. And you don't want to burn yourself out. And I've done that in the past, and it's not good. So, if you feel like you're having like a little block, that's just a sign that you need to have a retreat. And that's perfectly okay.
Yes. That's perfectly okay.
Perfectly okay.
It
just
is.
come and say hello to us. Don't just leave. Just come and say hello to us at least once every now and then,
Yes. But you need that time to yourself.
Absolutely.
You really, really do. We need time to be able to spend time with your family or spend time even with yourself. Yes.
Someone said their name is Gabby.
Marika Drive. I'm hoping I say that right. And I do. I actually see posts from you very, very often. Love your material. But yes, I want to make sure I'm saying your name right. Or either it's America Drive.
That's what it looked like. America Drive.
America Drive. At first I said America Drive, but I think it's America Drive. So thank you always for joining.
Yeah.
Now, I do want to bring out one more point, which is a recap, but you talk about it very often on Fridays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you want to check out her show, this is at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on IG Live, okay?
Yes. Welcome. Come to the party.
Yes. You always have fun. Always. And you always allow your anyone who's watching, your audience, you always advise them, advise them to be able to craft while watching the video.
Yeah.
So I love it. You said, if I can create this in my doll world, what else can I create in my own real world? How has being a part of the doll community, crafting, having your dolls in the storyline, how has that influenced what you create in your own life?
It influenced me to be a better wife and a better mom. It influenced me to bring out my attributes more, and to be able to interact more with people, and not just closing myself off. And, I'm able to just come up to people and just have conversations, which is weird to some people now because they're like, wait a minute, what's this lady? But I didn't used to be able to just do that, So it has helped me bring my own personality out.
Yes. 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 Has there been any of your characters who may even be like a little bit different from who you are, but you find yourself like incorporating or grafting their personality into you?
Yes. Well, they're all attributes of me. I feel like Juicy's boldness makes me more bold as far as, how he doesn't,
Oh no.
he feels a,
Oh no, we have another disconnection
I,
issue. There we go. We're back. Okay. Okay.
I'm
You
sorry about
buffered
that.
a little.
I,
Oh, it's okay.
I think I need to cut the notifications off, but I forgot how to. So I'm sorry.
That's
But
okay. That's okay. My husband helps me with mine because I don't know how to do it either most of the time.
but his character helped me as far as like saying how I feel, go ahead and say it. Don't worry about, holding back. Make me more courageous,
Yes.
you
Yes.
know.
Yes. I understand it. I understand. And I really think that we probably see it more with our characters that are opposite of us.
Mm-hmm.
Because I have certain characters that like Penelope. She's very, very selfish. She has no problem saying no. She has no problem. No, it's not even like a forethought in her mind. It's just like, I don't really care about what you're going through, what your problems are. This is what I want.
That's what I
And
want.
so I haven't taken that on to that extent.
Yeah.
But she has helped me as far as like being able to say no and really stick to my no. Because I was always that person that yes, 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 yes. And then I'm like burnt out, like just very, very burnt out.
That was me.
Stretched extremely thin. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
or either I say no, but you know that if you ask me again, I'm gonna say yes. Or I'll do it, I may begrudgingly do it, but I'm still gonna do it.
Right.
So now it's like really our word says let your yay be yay, your nay be nay. So now I'm like, let me really stick to my no because I have to monitor my health. I had some health scares last year and, right after our little one was born and I was like, I can't do like I used to anymore.
Yeah.
And I believe having those characters that, just like you said, it's still a part of us.
Still a part
but they're just more of the like emboldened, exaggerated part of us.
Yes.
Right? So then whenever we embrace that character,
yes,
we can allow a part of who they are to live in us and give us the strength that we need so we can stay healthy.
exactly. And I think that Juicy's character is more like that for me. It's like the things that I've learned in personal development that I just haven't quite been able to grasp and be able to implement in my own life. He would tell Jazzy to do those things, or he would do those things, and it would make me as a person come out and do more of those things.
Yes.
So so it's like his my personal development show up a lot in Juicy. Hey, I've done it for you. Good to see you. So
hello, like, thank you for joining.
His character helps me a lot with that too.
I fully agree. I fully agree. So if anyone has any questions, any comments, this would be the time to share those things. Do you have anything you want to say?
Go with the flow. Just keep flowing. Keep flowing and keep manifesting. You will be surprised at how much you grow if you just keep growing and flowing. Just don't hold back anymore.
I think I have one more question. What made you go with the direction of a rom-com, a romance comedy?
My funny bone.
So pulled from what was natural.
Yeah, because I feel like, with the world the way it is and the doom and gloom and CNN and Fox and all these bad news. Somebody have to be funny where we could go and say, okay, what Juicy said today. And trust me, I laugh when I'm writing it because I'm like, oh God, okay, but I gotta do somebody need to laugh.
There you go.
So
There you go.
that's why, and Jazzy is so, she likes fun, she likes to laugh, like me. And he knows that, and it's like, that made me want to do more of that and show their interaction and how they like to have fun and laugh. And
Yeah,
we need laughter.
we
Laughter is
do.
a good medicine. That's what made me get through the grief that I went through, and going through a lot of the stuff the challenges that I go through. So, laughter
We
is
need
the best
laughter.
medicine.
We need love. Yes, laughter is the best medicine. It truly, truly is. And we need, we need love. And I love the factor being, I'm going to put this out there just like I have with other pages that demonstrate this. I love the factor being that you're showing Black love, because
Yes.
we don't always see that. We see so much separation and individuality. I was a teacher prior to having my own family. I was in the school system teaching. And one of the things that children grow up with a knowledge of is of this urban lifestyle is that you have a baby's mama or a daddy's mama, and they really don't associate very often our people as being married and having joyful relationships. Now, I am thankful that in our children's generation, you do see more of that on TV. You're seeing more of the commercials where it's demonstrating black, where we didn't have that growing up.
We didn't.
We really didn't. We
only
really
had
didn't.
The Cosbys. The Cosbys
We did.
and Urkel.
There you go. Yeah, Family Matters. That was really it. And I'm thankful for those things, because that's really, the foundation of what we have right now. So without those things, we wouldn't have the other shows that we have out, or even the commercials and so forth. But it just was not out there on that level. So I do applaud you for putting that in the main focus of your page, so that people can see, oh, wow, okay, so they do have these love stories, because even with Hallmark Channel is just now starting to show, I would say within like the last year and a half, maybe 2 years, showing our people being in love. And, but you still don't really always see it as far as it being a Black American male and a Black American female. And I don't have any problem with it. I love diversity. So don't get me wrong. I love diversity.
Oh, well, we know you do. Raymond and Gloria.
Yeah, I do. But so I'm just saying, I don't want anyone saying, oh, so you have a problem with, no. Okay, so Penelope's with Lawrence, guys. All right, and I was the only graduating Black female from my high school. So no, I have no problem with diversity. But I do believe that in diversity, we need to be inclusive, and we have to show all different kinds of people being in love and having healthy relationships.
I'm glad you said that. Yes, because it's true. Yeah, it's very true. Yeah, and I think that's why I was inspired to do that, because when I first made my little curvy world, I did not have Jazzy and Juicy, and that could be the reason why I was not inspired to really post anything yet. Because maybe, like I tell you guys on the show, your storyline will inspire you, and I feel like they inspire me to put more out about that, because I have something to say about that. I have something to say now.
I like that. I like that. So they're constantly giving you material because you're inspired by their relationship. You're inspired by their love.
Yeah, and it needs
so
to be out
whenever you're like, what am I going to talk about now? Something happens. Or just the vibe that you get, and you're like, okay, we can talk about this. Hey, don't you guys need a vacation? You've been dealing with this and that. Let's explore this. Let me craft that. And I really do believe also, just like you said, about creating to be able to manifest your storyline and having a storyline that allows you to manifest your creations. It just goes hand in hand. So
yes, it really does. And like you said, we don't see enough of us, like you said, loving one another and edifying one another too. We need to do that more. We don't see enough of that. And one day I just started having them call themselves king and queen, and it was inspiring, and I call my king more because of that. And we need to edify one another. you
So
know.
how did you come to this place? I know we're about to close our discussion, but how did you come to this place as far as seeing your husband as king, him seeing you as queen, and then you incorporating that into your storyline?
Well, I love Miles Monroe. So if you guys don't watch him, you start watching him, especially where he talks about kingdom principles and how he teaches about
And he has a book
we're
too.
kingdom priests, and when I realized that I am a queen of my gift and my domain, you're not ruling over people, you're ruling over your gift. So when I realized that, that was a paradigm shift for me.
Mm, there goes that word. That's my husband and I's favorite word right there. So.
Kingdom paradigm.
It is. That phrase, that just paradigm shift. Yes.
So it was a paradigm shift to me. It's not that I'm saying I'm better than anybody. I'm not better than you. We're all kings and queens. You're king and queens of your gift and your purpose. So when you find out what your gift and your purpose is, and you master it, you have dominion over your gift, not over people, over your gift and what you're supposed to be doing. So
Yes.
when I realized that, I no longer saw myself as a nobody. I no longer saw myself as just a black woman that don't have a purpose, don't have nothing to do in this world. It made me feel like I'm important. And
Yes.
that feeling that I had that I'm important, I want other people to feel the same way.
Yes.
You know?
Yes. And you even have your necklace, right?
Yes.
That says queen.
Queen.
Mm-hmm. I know it's backwards, okay, but you do see it, Queen. And I love that you do have that as far as being able to really position yourself and embody who you are.
Yes.
And that's the thing about it. Just like you said, we are each king and queens of our domain, over our gifts.
Over your gift and your domain.
Whenever you see yourself like that, you see your worth.
Yes.
And you're able to project that into your projects.
Exactly. And I want nothing in life other than to teach people the same thing. I want everybody to know that, because I grew up not knowing that. I grew up not, I was the only black person in my elementary school. I went through the prejudice. I went through being called the N-word. I went through being persecuted. I went through white kids throwing pepper in my eyes. I've been through stuff, never became bitter, but I've always thought that I was less than.
Mm-hmm.
And when I realized that I was not less than, that I was created by a creator to create, and not only that, I'm a queen and I'm his daughter, that changed the game for me. And I want nothing but to help other people feel the same way, because we're all that way.
We are. We truly, truly are. And I know for myself.
Hey, Barry.
Yes. Hi, Barry of Win 2001.
Barry, my assistant of the assistant.
Yes. You in Barry of Win 2001 and Davenport.
Yes.
Family.
Davenport family.
Yes. I know I also experienced racism, but I also feel that because of our lack of understanding of having self-worth, and I experienced it even with my own people. You know, so it was back and forth.
Absolutely.
That was so
my
we have that issue within our own culture. So it's not it's definitely not a black and white thing. I had I think I was in first grade and I had a little girl that spit hamburger all on me. Who was black. And that the only thing I could do was cry and put my head down on the table. So that, it hurt. It hurt so bad.
It hurt.
So
really
it's
bad.
definitely not us saying like this race is greater and this is what was done to us. What we're saying is the importance of love, having self-worth. And I believe here on this platform, and this is just my experience and my opinion, I have not experienced that. Now, I don't know what other people have, but for me, this has been a very embracing and creative and just inspiring and loving community. And I think that's because we all kind of have our own differences as far as being different from what society is, and so we embrace each other more.
Yes, we do.
So I have not experienced that on our platform right here, but just in real life, you step outside your door, you do encounter things, and you have a past where you encountered situations, and with our storyline, yeah, you know, and it's a very real thing. You know, we can't negate who we are. Right. When we go outside the door, this is who we are. This is, you know, the coloring that's on our skin, and not everyone accepts that. And, you know, it's their loss. But in the same hand, what we're saying is that we've learned through those experiences about the importance of, like you said, being able to laugh, being able to have joy, being able to experience love and showcase love. Because maybe some people outside of Instagram, you may not have any dealings with people that are of different races, who are Arab or Chinese or Black. And that, you know, and that could just be like where you're located at. I mean, just honestly, the amount of people that may live in that area who's of a different race, or where you may work at, especially now with the pandemic, a lot of people are working at home. So you may not have a lot of experience with other people. And it's very easy to just turn on your TV and go, oh, okay, well, I guess that's how these people are.
That's right. That's right.
And you may not intentionally mean to have any racist going on, but it's just the limitations that's set and the boundaries that's been set to where it's very easy to say that's how these people are, that's how these people are. So the awesome thing about this platform on Instagram with our dog community is that we get a chance to experience how other people live. They recently did something, you know, we do. It was, someone recently in October. They had they had a challenge going on as far as like talking about the different cultures and what's, you know, what's in your culture, what do you do?
Right.
And it was so refreshing. I got a chance to read some people's posts, and it was like, wow, they do that. That's your tradition. Yeah. And it was really interesting. And even, I think it's Barbie Life in Vinla. She recently had like a bachelorette party, and basically like they have like this sauna experience. Yeah. Finnish culture. I do believe, I want to say I'm right, and in the sauna, and then they have to like spank each other, and they say the name of the person that they were with previously. So before you get married, you're ridding yourself of any of those bad and negative vibes from like previous friends or partners that you were with, and you say the name and they spank it from you. So that was interesting. I didn't know that.
I didn't know that, but that's something to know.
I didn't know that. Yeah. And then other people in the comments talked about, oh, well, this is what we do in our culture. This is what's tradition for us. And it was very, very, it was just a great learning experience.
Absolutely.
So I'm thankful for this platform giving us that opportunity. And that's the same thing with being able to showcase Black love. Now, of course, Raymond himself, he is Mexican. So, you know, they have their interracial relationship. And that's he's my brother. But being able to, you know, see that being shown. It's not always something that someone knows, because they may not, you know, hang out with other people who are of different races on a frequent basis. So I thank you for bringing that to the forefront.
Yes, because, you know, I didn't know that's the direction that I was going, but when the pandemic happened, and like I said, I started going with the flow, and that was the flow that was directed for me to do. That's why I was inspired to bring forth the house, you know, model home, you know. So that's the direction and the flow that was given, and I guess an assignment for me to do. And, you know, when we were going through so much stuff during the pandemic, and, you know, with the George Floyd and everything, I got persecuted from my own family and friends because I wouldn't go with the, you know, the racial tension and all that. And I was like, now wait a minute, you know, we can't just say that about them. What are we doing to one another? So I was like the voice of reason, where I was like, well, you know, this is a reflection of how we need to treat each other in our own race. So I had persecution happen to me just because I was one of the ones was like, I'm not going with the racial stuff. I'm not going to go there because we got some things within us that we need to straighten out. Like we need to
Yes.
know I can't talk about my queen. I can't talk about my king brother. What about me? You know?
Yeah.
So it was things within us we needed to change on how we treat one another.
I agree.
Love thy neighbor as thyself. Whether your neighbor is black, white, Chinese, Mexican, we're supposed to love one another. And we
I agree.
definitely should not be treating each other wrong. So
I
I
agree.
went through persecution myself by speaking up and saying that, you know, and that was big for me because, like I told y'all, I was shy before that, but I felt like there was time for me to speak, and I spoke
Yes.
about that. And, you
Yeah.
know, that's one reason why I feel like I was inspired for Jazzy and Bridget to be best friends. I didn't intentionally pick her to have a white best friend, but it just happened that way, you know, and I got persecuted for that. But that's okay because that's the flow that I'm supposed to go, you know.
I agree. I fully
Keep your
agree. You
focus,
know,
stay focused.
stay focused on what's important to
You.
you. Just like
That's
you had
right.
said, we're gonna back up a little bit, but you had said earlier, you know, I can't be the person that my husband, you know, is expecting me to be, or who my family expects me to be, or even the person that I'm expecting me to be. I have to develop into who I'm supposed to be.
That's right.
And that goes for your storyline. Most importantly, this is yours. This is yours. This is supposed to be your enjoyment, your peace, your
And don't
hobby.
worry about
You
who's
get
going to
away
follow.
from all the chaos. Exactly.
Don't
So
worry
you need
about
to
followers.
write and
I
create
love you guys that follow
what's
me.
important to you.
Don't worry about the people that's not following you. You're going to
Exactly.
attract the friends and the family and the followers that's going to come to you and love you. So don't worry
Yeah.
about having these followers and all that. That's going to happen. Just do
And you
what
don't
you're
want to
supposed to do.
create division
That's
either.
right.
You know, our hobby is supposed to be bringing us together.
That's right.
You know, it's supposed to be bringing us together. And sometimes if we can become more nationalists about a situation, I'm not saying for you not to. I mean, that's where your page is at and your account, and that's the direction for you, then go with it.
That's right.
But in the same hand, we don't want to create division
That's right.
with our page that blocks out the love. You know,
That's
we want
right.
to make sure that we're including everyone in. And if someone has a problem with it and they decide not to follow you, that's okay. That's
It's just
okay.
like a
But I don't
waiter.
want to stand for something that I'm not personally involved in, and I'm not personally,
Don't take it
it
personal.
doesn't resonate.
Don't take it personal. It's just like when I used to do selling. Don't take it personal. When the waitress come by and offer you coffee, you may not want that coffee. I might not be everybody's cup of tea. It's all right. It's all right. I love me. I love you. Anyway, I might not be everybody's cup of tea. And that's okay. That's fine. Don't take it personal, you know? You're
Exactly.
not gonna resonate with everybody. And it might just be a season.
It may just be a season, and we have to remember too that, are the people who are part of our dog community, is that the person who did the attacking?
Yeah,
and I believe that,
right.
During that particular season, and even right now, there were certain posts that went out that made it seem like everyone's that way.
Yeah.
And I'm against all of you, and I'm mad. And I understand there was a lot of venting, a lot of anger.
Yeah.
But I couldn't write a storyline that was based off of that, because that wasn't where I wanted to be at.
That's right.
I wanted to transcend beyond that, for my own personal health, for my own personal mental health. There was already enough going on, just like you said, going on with the news. There was already enough going on whenever you step outside and you go into the store and someone may be looking at you a little odd.
Yeah.
There was already enough of that. It was like, let's use our page in a way that's going to be therapeutic for me.
That's right.
That I value.
Exactly. As long as you're not hurting anybody. Yeah.
Exactly. What do you do after the season is over and the hype isn't as strong, and you've created all these posts that really did alienate people and made people feel like they were a target, who did the situation. I think that becomes, a problem, because now it's like, oh, well, now I'm ready to be friendly. And I'll give you a real quick example on this. Someone kept writing, I think his name is, I can't remember, my husband knows his first name. It's like something, Jason Harlow. He's a rapper. Some other Harlow. I'm sorry. He comes right from
about. Yeah.
I can't think of his name. Jack Harlow, I think. I think his name's Jack Harlow. And a young lady just kept writing him. And she was like, I really don't understand why you won't respond to me, but you're responding to other people on that same thread. And he said, well, remember, you said if you're white, don't get on my account. Don't talk to me. And that's what she had in her bio.
That's right.
She had in her bio something that was like, if you're white, get off my account. Don't talk to me. And yeah, Jack, thank you, husband. So she alienated herself.
Right.
And then she found herself wanting to have contact and connect to this rapper who happens to be white. And he was obeying what she had on her page.
Right.
So we have to be careful about the anger that we have about a situation and how we vent, because it can create division. And quite honestly, that's not what this platform is for. That's not what our hobby is for. It's not what our storyline should be used for. It should be used as a tool of inclusiveness, for us to just include everybody and just hug and love. If somebody doesn't like it, they don't have to be involved. But that's what we should be using our page for. Even if you have drama in your storyline, like I do.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with drama.
But it's not about, it's not about creating an atmosphere where I'm pushing people away.
Right. That's right. Mm-hmm. And I totally agree. And I'm glad that I did what I did and kept going and kept flowing. And I was like, okay, my own family upset with me, but I was like, I'm just going to keep going. I'm just going to keep going. This is the direction that my father told me to do. So I'm just going to keep doing and keep going.
Yeah.
And keep sharing my gifts. And that's all I can do. I'm keeping it simple.
There you go. And I think that within itself is a message that even like if you're looking for certain people to support you, they may not. They may not support your craft. And this kind of goes, we're kind of walking into another topic. But they may not support you. It may not be the family that that supports you. It may be us here on Instagram who supports you.
And
that's like
I feel like that's why I was led to come back to my little curvy world so I can meet you guys, because I tell you, it brought me out and brought me to where I feel important. And I have something to show and there's something to share with other people who want to know those things. So it's awesome. Yes. It's awesome. That's why I tell you guys all the time, find what you're good with. If you're good with rerouting dolls' hairs, do it. If you're good with the makeup, do it. If you're good with the fashion, do it. You're going to find what you're good at and keep going. Keep flowing. Just keep doing it.
Exactly. Did you know you would be making t-shirts?
I was scared of the sewing machine.
Did you know? I want to move them so bad, but they're cuddled up so beautifully. They just cuddled up themselves. I want to show these one more time. Sorry, Minnie.
King and Queen.
King and Queen. Very well made. They got on there all black to showcase.
They look so
very good. You got the Velcro
beautiful.
Yes.
And
so
what
definitely
I love.
Check it out. And you have aprons too. So if you would have stopped, if you would have gave into the pressure of having to write it in a way that other people wanted you to, would you be right here with the Jenkins Manor and having the shirts and
I had no idea that was there. That was in me to even do that. No idea. And when you guys look at those shirts, it's not about them just being a couple. It's about when you look at your mini-me or whoever you have, I want you to take in your mind that you are a queen. I want it to be that you see that and you know that you are a queen or a king. So that's my purpose in that. I want you guys to know that you are kings and queens of your domain And in order for our little ones to know, I saved this to reveal on your
Oh,
show. In
that is
order
too
for
cute.
them to know that they are
Aw, I
a
like it.
princess, coming to the store soon next week.
I
In
love it.
order for them to know that they are prince and princesses, you have to know that you're a king and a queen, because our kids don't learn from what we tell them. They learn
Hmm.
from what we feel about us.
That's true.
So I made the prince and princess shirts now. I made them last year, but I had to wait till I was led to bring them out, and I felt like the king and queen had to really be out there for a while, so you guys could know that you're kings and queens, and now the
And
kids can know that they're prince and princesses because they learn from you.
you also have your husband or hubby and wifey.
Yes,
And before we close, and I know I keep saying that,
thank
but
you,
before we actually
Fairy.
do close, let's talk about your
Y'all the
challenge
first
that
ones
you
to
have.
see. Y'all the first
You
ones to
said that
see.
you're giving away a hubby and wifey shirt.
Yes. I'm giving away a hubby and a wifey shirt next week. I'm trying to figure out, and I may be talking with you on
What about that
how
dream pillow?
the dream pillow is someone on our show last week. I'm going to write down everybody's names over this weekend, and I'm going to find out from you how to do the spin thing, and then we're going to.
Hey, I give all credit to I Made It Better too, because she told me, because I was like, I don't know where to go to get this at. So
And I'm
yes, not
gonna
a
do a
problem.
drawing. So you guys come to the show because we are starting to do giveaways. I just had to make some shirts to have them pre-made so that I won't be overwhelmed. So that's what took me so long to start doing them. But yes, we are gonna have some giveaways. So, but
Good,
yes,
good. So definitely stay tuned, get involved with Friday evenings at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time so that you'll be able, there we go, hubby and wifey shirts. And don't just do it for the giveaway, but that does add some, some flavor into the IG live show. But you will learn a great deal about crafting. Yes, and those shirts are fabulous. I love them.
thank
I
you,
would
thank
definitely be
you.
adding this into my clothing line. I don't know if I want to say clothing line, but into my my clothes for my dolls. I like it.
Y'all made me decide last night that I am gonna put it in the store. Fairy asked me to put it in the store, so
Most
I
definitely.
am.
Most definitely. Yes, put that in the store.
I
We
will.
need that.
I will put it in the
We need
store. I will have I think I'll have maybe a red one and a black one.
it. Okay. Hey, I like it. I like it. I like it. So I do. I like those a whole lot. Do
She got
you think that you'll
got
ever
her
get
red.
into maybe possibly having shirts for the adults too?
For the what now?
For the adults?
The adults, what do you mean?
As far as matching shirts, like you and Jazzy having matching shirts.
You know what? Me and my best friend Avia was talking about that. We're really thinking about
Okay.
if I'm not making them, we may start a Teespring or something where you can have a third party company make the adult shirts. So
Okay.
I was talking about that with her. So that,
Okay. Well, we're here for it. We're here for it. We're going to stay tuned for it.
yes,
It's so
they
good to see
they
you. See
red
them.
shoes on.
It
You
was
know
like,
they always twinning.
you see them, say, hey, what's up?
Yes,
Just being
yes.
jazzy.
So now y'all can get your little mini me's Prince and Princess shirts starting next week too. I will post when I do put them out.
Good. Good. Good.
And I do
There we go.
appreciate that you guys do have a little patience with me. I don't send them out as fast. I try to send them out within 7 days because I don't know what will sell and what don't. So I pre-make the shirts, and then when you order them, that's when I put the print on. Because last season I made too many shirts of one that didn't sell that much, and then I was like, what a waste! I could have put another design on there. So
Yes. Yeah.
so I'm
I
pre-making the
understand.
shirts, and then when you order them, that's when I put the print on. And some more aprons coming out next week too.
Good, 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 good. So
Yeah.
definitely stay involved with the show on Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is the My Little Curvy World IG Live show.
Yeah.
And then also connect with her and purchase from the Etsy shop, which is once again MCW Toys and Hobbies, correct?
Toys and Hobbies. This is our pink shirts that we just made. You
Very
can order
nice.
the whole outfit. And that's Jenna. She's the one that's the manager over the shop.
Okay.
So she's posing with her pink shirt, so you can get you a pink suit there.
And you created that whole stand, right?
Yes, out of
Love it.
styrofoam.
I love it.
And these are the curvy shirts that you can get so far. So we got more than just king and queen shirts. We got curvy and proud shirts. Hello.
There you go. Now, if somebody has a doll that's not curvy, could they still get those shirts and will it still fit for their doll?
Yes. If you send me a message letting me know that you want to get a regular size shirt, I will do that for you. I have a pattern.
Okay. Good, good. So if you order it online, it is for our curvy girls. But
Yes.
if you DM ahead of time, let her know that you have a more, skintier kind of doll.
We don't discriminate.
Then just let her know ahead of time she can make those shirts custom
Yes.
for your doll. So I thank you
Because
guys.
because of the show is My Little Curvy World, that's why I do gear towards the curvies. But if you do want another size, just let me know. Just like our friend Great Adventures needed an apron for her Hubit's doll, I was able to accommodate and make the apron a little bigger for him. So just let me know. Just let me know, and I'll be happy to accommodate.
I'm going to see if there's any questions or any comments. Thank you guys for joining. Everyone who has joined.
And thank you for supporting,
say
guys.
hi to everyone.
Thank you for supporting.
Yeah.
Also, just to let you know that we do give away 10 to 20% of the profits from the store to our food shelter that's in our area.
Okay.
Because we had a really bad tornado that went through, and a lot of people lost their homes. So we do give to and I love Bridget's name. That's how I got her name. It's a charity out here called Bridging the Gap that do feed people every Saturday, and we do give to them. So just to let you know that we do give 10 to 20% of our profits from the Etsy store to Bridge in the Gap in our area. That helps a lot of people.
It is called Bridging the Gap?
Yes.
And how much of a percentage did you say?
10 to 20%.
Okay. So I will also include that in our write-up, just letting people know that part of their purchase does go towards that particular activity.
Yes. And go back to supplies to buy more prints. So, yes.
Definitely. You have to do that. It's a business still,
Absolutely.
So
and it's growing. It's in a growing stage. So we don't expect to make much of a profit right now because it's in a growing stage. If you know about business, the first 5 years in the business, you're not really going to make much of a profit, But I'm happy that we're able to give to the Bridging the Gap cause. And there's another charity that we do, Hearts of Love, that we do give to her as well. They also feed the community and give the kids backpacks and stuff like that. So, we have local charities out here that we do give to in this area. And it makes us feel good to be able to help those ministers do that, They're really sweet people. And I do see what they do. So awesome.
It is very important to always give back. Very, very important. So I agree with you. Fully agree with you because it always comes back. Always comes back in some way.
Always, girl. Always.
Do you get out there?
Give it to them.
Negative to you. Positive. Yeah. It comes right back.
Yeah,
Yeah, you reap what you
that's my
sow.
motto.
Whatever
That's
you put
my
in that
motto.
ground, it's gonna come right back up.
It
So
does.
I believe that, it's always good to do good to others, because it's what helps us to develop our personhood. Just like we talked about
Yes.
personal development.
Yes.
It really does. It helps us to develop and get outside of ourselves.
Yes.
Just like we have a hobby that helps us to get outside of ourselves. That's also another way of getting outside of yourself, volunteering, giving back, however way that you see fit to do it, paying it forward. It allows you to be able to get outside of your circumstances
Yep.
and who you are, get out of a negative rut, get out of the darkness that you
It
may
really
be
does
in.
make you feel better when you give.
It does.
They have
It does.
no idea. It's like we were built for that.
Mm-hmm.
So you will see when the more you give, you're gonna like, wow, I feel really good. And not that you want to see the person say thank you. It's just something inside of you. It's the gratitude part inside of you that, wow, I did that. I was able to help them, and it make you want to keep doing it more and more and more.
It does.
So,
It does.
And that's why I put so much into the show. That's why I give so much content in the show. I don't get paid to do this show. I don't have no sponsors or anything like that. That's not why I do this. I feel like the more I create and the more I show you guys, the more I keep getting it.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
I don't want it to stop. Yeah.
It's true. It's so true. That's so very true. The more that you give, the more you get back. And it's not always going to be so much as physical. I think we look for physical a lot. And not so much as us on here, but just we as people. We look for physical things. But it could be something that's spiritual. It could be waking up in the morning, having good health.
Yeah. Inspiration.
Just being able to have a peace of mind, being one person.
Yeah.
Not having yourself be so overwhelmed, or having any kind of split things go on inside of yourself.
Right.
So having wholeness, honestly, having a wholeness.
Having feet to walk to the post office today.
Yes. So it is. It's very important to be able to give back and just allow that positive energy to come right back to you the way that it's supposed to.
Absolutely. So, yes. We were created, not a creator to create, guys.
Yes. And so I fully agree with you. I will be including that in the caption as well, that 10 to 20% does go to charities, and that was Bridging the Gap as well as Hearts of Love.
Absolutely. So. Hearts of Love, evangelist Joan Lee is Hearts of Love, and she's such a sweet lady. She said her whole life she knew that she was supposed to help the poor. So, she's such a sweet lady, and I do give to her, and I do support what she's doing in the community.
There you go. So, yes, I will definitely put that on there, and that's a blessing. That's really good.
Thank you.
I'm glad to hear that. So, we are going to close out on our show, but like I said, definitely make sure to support every Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch My Little Curvy World's IG Live show, as well as connect with her on Etsy, where you can be able to shop and get all different kind of shirts. And she just got done showing the shirts that are going to be coming into the shop as well. So support. There's a lot that you can learn and grow with, and there are some upcoming giveaways that you can be a part of.
Please.
So definitely get involved with that as well.
Yes.
You guys enjoy your Saturday.
Shirts are coming too.
There you go. Don't forget about the babies. Get a whole family. You are redoing the Hearts family. You said you lost the little babies.
Well, now you just bring them back together that I lost. I brought them back together.
The babies, the children, the teenagers, the adults.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yes, ma'am.
I thank you so much at My Little Curvy World for hanging with me today, chatting with me.
It's been
being
fun.
able to have this time again. Yes, because we kept saying we were going to do it.
Yes.
So
we got to keep doing it. We got to keep doing it. Very important.
Yes. It is. Yes. It is. And I will give you the information between either today and tomorrow for the spin the wheel.
Yes, please do. Because I'm like, I want to give away that dream pillow. I might do some more of the dream pillow because I was so inspired when I made it. I didn't even know I could do that. I was like, how are we going to put these words on here? So I do have some more that I want to give away. So yes, let's do that.
Gift. Untapped gift.
Right? And you guys inspire me. That's why I'm glad that we have a dialogue with the show and not just a monologue, because y'all inspired me. I thought that day with you guys to come up with how we can put that on there. So y'all
And
watch
it's
the
really,
show and
really
you're gonna
awesome. We
learn
need
a
to go
lot.
back to that show to see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, go back to that show so you guys can see how she gave the tutorial and what that looked like. Cause it was just awesome. And I was like, wow, that's yarn? Had no clue.
Had
You did
no
very
clue.
good. I loved it. Yeah, I loved it. And it looked, and what'd you say? You got it from Pinterest? You saw the design
No,
on
I
Pinterest?
went to Kirkland's
Wow.
and I took pictures like I was Jazzy.
Mm-hmm.
And then
And I
I
remember
had
those
Jazzy go
photos.
there. And we had a field trip, me and Ferry and Tracy Wilcoxon. I had them I put them in software to be able to go shopping with Jazzy. And that was one of the things that we saw that I thought Jazzy would like.
Yeah, and that was really, really neat. I'm glad that you brought that up. You talked about having that collaboration. How did that go? How did you guys even form that?
It was by pure inspiration. I said, okay, Jazzy's going shopping today. It was on a Sunday afternoon. And I put it in the chat in our my little Curvy World chat that we have. I said, who want to go shopping? And I said, okay, well, she was gonna go shopping and y'all not gonna get any of the deals. And then Tracy said something. I said, okay, well, just take some pictures of your dolls. Just look like they're looking around and doing stuff and in the car and stuff. And then she took the pictures and sent them to me. And then I cut them into the scene. So that's how we did that. So if you ever want to do that with Gloria, let me know. I know how to do that now.
Okay. Did you do that like on like your laptop or did you do it on your phone?
I did it on my phone.
What?
I know.
I like
that's why I say, guys, untapped gifts. You're going to keep learning more and more as you keep doing this. Because I used to be afraid of software and stuff like that. But I was able to do that and cut them in and cut her in. I went there first, took the pictures, and then I was able to cut them in like they were shopping.
Yeah. I didn't know if you guys had like an actual, like a meetup. And you were able to do that, or how did you guys get around doing that? And you just told me, so that's awesome. And that does sound like something that Gloria would want to do.
Yes, by inspiration. Yeah. It was just by inspiration.
So I like that. I like that a lot. Yes. So we will collaborate on that as well.
Yes,
so,
yes, it's fun. It's fun. You should do that, and it make us feel like we're closer together when we're able to do that. You know.
And then you don't have to worry about trying to buy doubles. Because like with Gloria, you know, I've redone her hair. Can I do it again on another doll? I don't know. I want to say yes, but would it be exact? I don't know.
Right.
I don't know. So, you know, just in case you're like, I don't have that exact doll, I've already customized this one.
Mm-hmm. You don't have to do
I can't really send her out. You know what I mean? Because I'm still using her with my storyline. I like what you just said. You're able to have them send the photos, cut it out, paste it on there, post it.
Just post it.
And that way, you know, everyone still has
in front of a white wall or something, you know, and just cut them in and put them in there. That was fun.
So take the pictures, like how they were in the car. Take the pictures against like a white background.
Yes.
And then send it. Okay.
I learned how to do that with the cruise.
I like that.
So the cruise thing made me learn how to do that.
Wow. Wow. Yes. See, we're constantly learning. We're learning along the way from our own experiences, and then we're learning together. And we're giving each other information. That's the whole point of what we're doing with these lives, is being able to learn from each other. I'm learning from you, hopefully vice versa. And, you know, if you're listening right now, you're learning from what we're talking about. Hopefully.
Absolutely. Yes. We're family in the dog community. So I just enjoy how we're able to feed one another with your gifts and my gifts together. You know, it's awesome. You know,
it is.
No competition here. You compete with yourself. Now, I could tell me, now, you know, girl, you could have did a better job with that. Why you didn't do that?
There you go. There you
yourself.
Go.
But not with one another. That's right.
Exactly. Exactly. We're going to embrace each other and love on each other and just put out our personal, authentic content, our original content, the way that it comes from our heart, and not the way that someone else thinks that we should do it, or doing it the way someone else does. Right. You have to do it the way that's sincere to who you are.
That's right. So that's right.
absolutely agree with you. I see some people's posts every once in a while, and they'll have their photos, and you can tell, like, this is your photos, and then you go up a little bit more and you see photos that look totally different, and you're like, how did that happen? Like, this has different lighting, the composition's different.
Right, yeah.
How did you go from dolls that look like yeah, those were probably yours, to now you have photos that look like they were Mattel's?
Right.
And then you find out a little bit later on, even during the week or so, they're like, hey, watch out for this account, they're a scammer, they stole some pictures.
Yeah. That's
Don't
sad.
ever put yourself in that position.
That's sad, but it happens.
Yeah, just be you.
You.
Just be you. It doesn't have to look perfect.
No,
it
doesn't have to look perfect.
Yeah,
and
you
as long
need to
as
express
you're
your
true,
soul.
we can watch each other grow. Like I said, we all grow here, and that's normal.
Yes.
You grow, my page grow, your page grew.
Yes.
We're growing here. So why try to come and try to be perfect? Don't try to be perfect. Be you, and as you be you, you're gonna grow.
Exactly.
So yeah. If you want to be true to you, you got to know who you are, and you cannot try to be somebody else.
And it goes all the way back to what you said about personal development.
Personal development.
The more
Bill
that we grow,
Gove. Look up Bill Gove too. Bill Gove is another one.
Gove.
Gove. Yeah, he say, if you want to be free, you got to be me. Not the me that your dad think you should be, not the me that your spouse think you should be. If you want to be free, you got to be me, but you got to know who me is first. So I learned that from Bob Proctor, and his mentor was Bill Grove. So it's so true.
It is. Yeah. It really, really is. So I agree with that wholeheartedly. And we're constantly evolving, and constantly learning, and constantly transforming to become the me that's inside of me.
You're becoming.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
That's right.
I love that book. Yeah, but that's true. It's true, just as an actual statement, becoming. Mm-hmm. And that's what we're doing with our dolls, especially with storyline, development. I don't really believe that we'll ever get to a point with any of our characters where we say, okay, that's it. You don't have any more. Not unless, of course, that character moves away or that character sadly dies off or something of that nature. For the most part, that character is still involved with your storyline. Even if you haven't posted any pictures in a while, they're still evolving. They're still transforming. There's still growth. There's still changes that's taking place. And that's the same thing with us. Exactly. Because that's what's happening to us. So you're learning more along the way about your characters. And if you are, purchasing or have already purchased the Ed Sacred Pair Presents Journal for storyline content development, there's also a plan for the character origin journal, any of those things. I do want to put a disclaimer out there. Whatever you wrote and whatever you're writing or will write in there about your characters, it's going to keep changing.
Yes, it is.
It's going to keep changing. So there's certain things I may have written about Gloria that the more that she's involved in my storyline, I'm learning about her. And I'm writing that down.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't notice this. I didn't really think about this. Yeah, let me put this in here too. So she's growing. She's changing. She's developing. And the same thing with Courtney. Courtney's a new character. That's her younger sister. And she has a surprise.
Yes.
She has a surprise. So, being able to really grow and learn about me each day, each moment of each day, is helping me develop their characters. So I love that you
learn about them, more about them, just like I'm learning more about Jazzy. I'm learning more about her childhood. Before I wrote about her grandmother, I didn't know she had a grandmother that raised her like that. So you're gonna learn more about them, and as their characters grow, you're gonna learn about their past and what they went through. Because some of y'all asked me, well, where did Jazzy do this? I said, do you want me to ask her? I don't know yet.
Some things we don't know yet. Some things we don't know yet, and that's okay, because we are the narrator, right? We're like the orator of their stories, and they're telling us through their own voice of
I didn't know her doors was black inside the house.
But then as you created it, it manifested.
Yeah, it manifested, and I had to redo it too.
Because you're learning along the way about the personality of
your
her
character.
character, Jackie's character.
That's right. That's right. That was funny though. That was a trip. I was like, I can't believe I'm remaking these doors, but it was like it would have just not ever set well with me if I didn't do it.
Just like you said about her purple Lexus, you had your live action play about, you know, putting up the picture frame.
Yeah, yeah.
So, you know, you're the more that you interact with her, we're seeing more and more of her personality, and just like you said, you're learning more about who she is.
Yes, yes.
So I fully agree with you.
It's
so yeah, it doesn't end just because you wrote the storyline. You wrote down some information in the character origin journal. Don't say, okay, that's it for Raymond. I already wrote, you know, about him. He's kind, he's passionate, he supports his wife, he's a counselor with her, and they both take care of their kids. It's just a really all-around great husband, has issues with his mother-in-law. Boom, that's it. No.
There's more to it than that.
No, there's so much more to the story. So much more to the story. He had to step in and take care of his sisters. His mom wasn't there. And I was like, why was his mom there? Stay tuned. You'll find out.
That's right.
So it's just like,
how
you know, it's constant
not having a father, you know, those things. Yeah, it's a lot.
Constant stay tuned. And it adds more depth and texture and realness to the characters that we have.
That's why I think you guys gonna love Walter, because there's a reason why he's the way he is. You know, there's a reason why Bridget the way she is. So, you know, it's more to them than that, you know.
And I like it because Bridget, she has certain aspects of similarities to Jazzy. Because, you know, they're best friends. So a lot of times when you're best friends, you're going to have some similarities. Yeah. But then where they're different at, they're starkly different. You know, even when I loved it, you had her walk off, you know, she was still being polite. She was like, all right, I'll talk to you later. She didn't want to talk about it anymore.
Yes.
So she got the kids, got in the car, and she was ready to go.
Right.
Which I really wouldn't see Jazzy doing that. Jazzy's more like, I'm going to finish out this discussion. We're going to get to the result.
Right.
We're not going to go to bed until we get to this whole result of the conversation.
Right.
Bridget shut down.
Even with Jazzy, what made her become that way? Has she always been that way? So yes, like you said, there's just so much to explore there. There's so much to explore in their personality and what make them the way they are, what make Juicy the way he is, what make them all the way they are. Why would Bridget just shut down like that? So
constant stay tuned. Constant stay tuned.
You guys are gonna find out soon. I can say that because I just found it.
There you go. I want to just add this in real quick. And you don't have to tell us.
Right.
But your basketball photos are fire. I don't know how you do it. You know, like I said, you don't have to tell us. You can keep it. You know, keep on hush. But they're fire. I'm like, wow, that basketball. I showed my husband. I was like, the basketball is actually like floating in the air. It's
well.
And going to the rim.
I'm not going to tell you, but I did leave clues for my students.
Then I should know. I should know. I gotta go back and look, man. I gotta go back and look.
I left clues.
I gotta go back and look.
I left clues.
Okay.
Remember, I'm the vision queen.
Yes.
I left clues.
I gotta go back and look. All I know is that I love it. I love it.
In every picture about everything. There's this not just.
I'm gonna go back.
This is not just for enjoyment. There's clues. There's things in the pictures. So look closely, and you'll see how I did it.
Okay. Let's don't tell us. Don't tell us.
Because it's gonna take away from it. But you can see things in there. You know, I did it deliberately. So you can see how I did it.
And if you don't know what I'm talking about, go back to our account after this live. Like I said, after. Don't do it right now. Stay tuned. We're almost done. But after the live, do what I'm going to be doing, which is going to her page. And I'm about to go check and see these clues. Because it is
study the picture.
Like I said, it's fire how you did it. It really does look like they're playing basketball.
Yes. And what's funny, how could I do that with Jazzy and she don't have flat feet?
That is true.
Right. right? Don't be so quick to just buy something new. Be creative. See, be creative with what you got. That's what I teach you
Mm-hmm.
guys in my show. What do you
Yes.
have in your house? You already
Yes.
got it. You already got what you need. Already got it. Just like
That's so
in a
good.
good book that me and you love, the widow had
Mm-hmm.
oil and
The jars.
flour. What did you
Yeah.
have
Mm-hmm.
already? You can figure
Mm-hmm.
out how to do it.
Yeah. She had the
That's what
jars.
this
She went
for.
around to her neighbors when he got more jars, put that oil in that jar,
Yes, yes. What
sold it.
did you have?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
You already have it.
There you go.
You already have
There
it.
you go.
Yep.
So
So go
yes, I'm
study
gonna be
the
checking
picture
it
and
out.
you
I'm gonna be checking it out.
I don't want to cheat you for that. Go study the pictures and you'll see how I did
I don't want you to do that. You gotta work on that one. You gotta research that one. I got you. I got you. I got you.
It's not that it's a secret. It's just if you see it, you're gonna be like, oh, okay, yes. I love it.
Well, I will DM it. I'm not gonna put it in the comments. I'm gonna DM it and find out if I'm right when I look at it. I make other people have to work hard too.
It's
I don't want
brilliant
them
though
to
when
put it
you
in the
see it.
comments.
It's brilliant. It's brilliant. Because when I thought to do it, I was like, oh, because I thought I had to shoot it myself or try to take the picture. I'm like, no, I ain't got to know. So you're gonna see.
I'm
And
gonna
it's
check it
not
out.
cut in there either. It's not cut in there. Not through software.
Okay.
It's not cut in
Yeah,
there through
because you said
software.
that you did the software
Yeah,
with the cruise. And this
yeah,
happened before the cruise. And then, of course, they came back.
yeah.
They ended up playing basketball again. So I already know. I check out
It's
your page. So
authentic.
I already know they had
It's
the basketball
authentic.
game before the cruise, and you were already doing that with the shots. I was like, hey, how'd she do that?
Right. And she
So
don't
yeah,
have
I
a
like it.
made to move body. She has a
You know,
she has
she's
a
artistic.
jointed body. So you can do
Mm-hmm.
it.
I like it. I like
Yes,
it.
you can do
Yeah,
anything. You can do manifest.
that's true.
Yes. But this has been a pleasure. Did you guys have
Yeah.
anybody else have any questions for me? Because that was a great question. I'm glad you brought that up.
Let's see here. That's a great idea. No cheating.
No
Exactly.
cheating, no cheating.
www.awesome.
Thank you. This is fun.
This was fun. Thank you so much
The
again.
royal court.
Yes. There you go.
The
There you go.
royal
You can put
court
that on the,
and the royal courtyard.
there you go. Put that on there. Caption it. Caption it. So we want to thank you guys again for being with us on this Saturday.
Red shirts, y'all. Almost forgot
Okay.
to tell
The
you.
Queen and King.
And they're long sleeve. So we got long sleeve shirts too.
Good. Good. Yeah, there's his long sleeve.
Yeah, so we got long sleeve shirts in the store too. I
Long sleeve shirt.
wanted to make sure that I did say that. That's why I had them there to remind me.
Hey, that's no problem at all. I'm glad that you got that on there.
Yes.
So yeah, we want to thank you guys again. Join us on this Saturday. Look out for her show, like I said, on Fridays. It did. It came out very much amazing. Check out our Etsy shop. I'll be with you guys again on Saturday the 13th. Actually, no, I think I have one on the 9th. So look out for my virtual flyer for the next show. So I do believe I do have one on the 9th as well. So I'll be seeing you then.
Y'all come watch My Little Curvy World. I said next week, but it might be the week after next. We're gonna have the paper chef.
Okay.
Showing
Okay.
you
Yeah.
guys how to make food out of paper.
Yes. Yes. For Thanksgiving.
For Thanksgiving, yes. So be ready for that. It's gonna be
Yes, and
fun.
if you have any questions about what does that look like, go to her Mother's Day photos, go to her previous Thanksgiving photos, and I think, did you have one for Easter too, where you have food?
No,
I believe
just
so.
Thanksgiving
No, okay,
and Mother's Day. And in the middle, I was building the house, so I didn't do much else. So I'm sorry I didn't go to more challenges too. So now y'all know why I was building.
So yeah, check out those photos. You can get a glimpse of what she's talking about when she's talking about the food
Yes.
and being able to become a paper chef.
Yes.
Which is going to be showing you not this Friday, correct? Not on the 12th, but on the week after.
Yes. Yes, for sure. I will let you know. I have to look and see how things going with the shirts and everything, but it may be the week after.
Okay.
So yes, but it'll be before Thanksgiving, so you'll have time to do the projects.
There you go. Yeah.
So,
So we thank you guys again. Have an awesome Saturday. Thank you so much in my little curvy world for hanging out with me.
We're neighbors.
I had fun. Yes, yes, yes. I will be DMing you.
Yes.
With my response about this basketball.
Yes, yes.
Basketball challenge. Yes. Yes, yes. Bye, you guys. Thank you so much for joining. Bye-bye, sis.
Bye-bye. Have a good night.
Bye-bye. Tell brother we said hi, too.
I sure will. Good night.
Good night. Bye-bye.